Hello and welcome to 8-Bit Chat. I am not your host, Angelo Oriema. I am your guest host, Michael Smith, because he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
And shed a tear for Angelo,
Yeah.
please. No. One singular tear.
One singular thing.
Yeah,
Nothing more.
that's all he deserves.
And joining me today, I have Logan Lewis.
Hi, everybody.
And Parker Carlson. And,
Thanks for that, Parker.
and today, after we cover a bit of news, we're going to be talking about our favorite games from our childhood.
Yes.
Which will be
Very
interesting.
interesting to hear what your answers are.
Muy interesante, señores. Muy interesante.
But first up, we're going to cover some news, and then probably the biggest news of the week for all you PlayStation and PSN users.
And that's all of us, by the way.
Yeah.
We are all PSN users.
All consoles.
Yeah, I am an every user.
They are now implementing, for an insider program later this year and next year, name changes. So that name you made in 8th grade, Angelo, you can now change. Since he's the one who always hates giving out his
name because he sounds like a
name
child.
because he doesn't like it.
I'm definitely gonna have to take him up on that because
Well, see, like mine isn't weird because I'm a recent switchee to PSN, so I had my name when I was like 19.
Okay,
So
okay.
like
You
mine
had some
made-
reason
yeah,
to.
I had reason because I was an Xbox kid.
Yeah,
and
I
then
got a
switched.
PlayStation last November, so yeah, it's just the same as
yeah,
my
I got
Xbox
mine
name.
much longer than that, so it's been. I'm definitely gonna need to change it.
Yeah, I was just happy when I got my PlayStation and signed up that I had my name.
Yeah.
That's always the worst.
It took them way too long to do this, though.
Xbox had
way
it from the beginning.
from 06, they had it. With
Like,
the
I'm not gonna
360.
pretend to know how their back end works in the
But,
slightest,
like-
but it shouldn't be that hard.
No.
It's taken like 4 generations now.
Yeah, it's stupid. 4 too many.
Yeah, and it will cost. Let's see. For non-Plus members, it'll cost $10, and for Plus members, it'll cost $5.
That's actually pretty good.
That's okay.
Like
how much is
Xbox?
Xbox?
10, yeah. Well, it used to on 360, it was 1,600 Xbox points.
Oh, wow.
Which equated to $20.
And then they-
you
and
had
then
to
they
pay
bumped it-
$20.
And then at the end, they bumped it down to 800, and
Yeah.
then they changed to
Finally.
real money.
Yeah. Here's our Monopoly money. Buy it so you can buy things on our store. Oh, man.
And then Super Mario Party came out last week. I, for one, have not played that yet.
I haven't played it either.
I've
haven't.
played
And
it
I won't.
once, and I will be happy to say it is much better than the last installment.
Really?
Instead of having
Yeah, from what I heard, because 9 and 10 were trash.
Cough,
That's not even a hot take. That's not even a hot take. They were the worst, easily the worst games. 8 was the last good one. So
You can, yeah, and this one you can actually play competitively, and you don't have to be in the same like car or whatever the stupid gimmick was of the last one. It was
I
terrible.
forgot that.
Yeah, it was like all against one, and then this time it's like okay, you can all
Really?
free
Like
form.
there wasn't an actual way to do it differently?
yeah, it
Not
was,
to
it
my
was-
knowledge.
In 10, it
That's
was like
stupid.
it was like the car versus Bowser. And, like someone played Bowser.
Car versus
It
Bowser.
It was
honestly
like 3
was.
people
If it
in a
sounds
car,
stupid,
and that
it's
was
because it
versus
was.
Bowser. Yeah,
That's my favorite monster movie. Car versus Bowser.
Like they didn't do stars. It was weird.
That's
And the
ridiculous.
game's a lot of fun, but it's lacking in some regards. Like
It only has 4 boards,
Only 4?
only 4,
and you have to
they're not
unlock
that
2 of
interesting.
them.
That's stupid.
Yeah, they're really simple. I heard they're less linear though, so
Oh,
it's
really?
not like
That's good.
There's a mechanic where like instead of having to like go along the set path, you
Yeah.
can kind of like choose your direction, kind of like in like any other like point clicking.
Any other
stuff. Yeah,
game.
yeah. You don't have to go along the set line.
That's good.
So it's unique. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's interesting, less competitive, but it's fun.
That's good.
There's also a new mechanic with the dice blocks where each character has their own unique dice block.
Ooh.
And some of them are good and some of them are terrible. Like, I'm pretty sure Monty Moles is you can roll a 0 and get 1 coin, or you can roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
That's it.
Wario.
That's
it.
Yeah. From what I've heard, Monty Moles is the worst dice block, but other ones are like 0, 2, 2, 3, 7.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
They each have their own one. And
Yeah,
then
there's a couple that's like Wario. It's like you can get up to 7, but you also have like 2 chances of losing like 5 coins and not having to move at all. So it's a really interesting.
Some luck involved.
yeah,
in
so your
some of
character
those.
choice can actually matter.
Okay. I mean,
but
I-
no one's
I-
gonna
I
do
would
that.
only
I'm
play
gonna
as
play dry
Wario,
bones all the
so-
time, like I always do.
Yeah, I would only play as Wario because that's my
Yeah,
dad.
because
Wario
that's
is my dad.
And I also heard there's like an ally system or
There
something.
is.
Because I
So-
saw something about that, and I saw like Koopa Troopa had like you can get a dice block from them, and Koopa's had a 10 on it.
Yeah, so how it is there's a specific game mode. Instead of like a free-for-all, you can partner up with one other person.
Okay.
And when you do that, you can, along the board, like there's scattered different characters that aren't currently playing. So you can run into them, and
You
every
can
time
beat 'em
you
up.
roll, yeah,
You can punch him in the mouth.
and you get their dice block, and every time you roll, they also have a chance to either give you an extra move or 2 extra moves.
Ooh,
So
that's
you can
cool.
collect as many allies as you can. So you could potentially have up to like, I think, like 9 extra moves every time you roll the dice. And it's absolutely insane.
Oh my God.
And there's also another thing where, I guess if you're playing on the tablets, you can use console link to put 2 together, so you can have like 2
It, like,
people on one
extends your
screen. Yeah, it
screen.
extends the screen.
That's awesome.
So
That
you can have
that's
multiple
really
people,
cool.
like so you don't have 4 people staring at one.
Like the
Yeah.
tiniest screen.
one screen
Yeah.
like this big going. What's that?
Yeah.
I can't see it, but to be fair, I don't think most people are gonna play Mario Party
On just a tablet. No.
like on a tablet. They're gonna do it at like a house party
Yeah.
or something.
Play it on my box TV.
Yeah, not a
I
lot of
was about to say the portable thing's more for playing Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey when you're on campus.
Yes.
And then other games that have come out, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which you said you've played
I've
5
played it.
hours
Yeah.
and gotten to
I've heard it's like exactly.
It's insanely long.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I've played 5 hours and just got to the title screen. I am not joking.
What?
There's so much to do in it. As soon as you hop in, there's like a million different
Do
places to go.
you like that or do you not like that? Because
So
I feel you don't like it.
I don't
Is
like
it
it.
actually like
That's
open
fair.
world because you just said it like you jump in and like you have everything.
You jump into like one isolated location, kind of like in Breath of the Wild. You have like your beginner location,
Yeah.
and then once you progress after the title sequence, you get a boat, and it's like a massive open world, and you can go wherever.
That's
I don't like it because they really are like as soon as you hop in, it's like all right, here's a million stuff to do all at once, and then you're like,
You choose. Well, I don't want to do
the
that.
completionist in me is not gonna like that.
no. I've been because it's taken me so long because I have like a OCD requirement to like every time I get to a new location and synchronize and unlock the map, I have to go to every single location, and there's millions of them.
God.
So you're like me, the person when something pops up in like your main, like in Overwatch, when I get like a new thing, I have to go clear it
Yep,
because it annoys me so
exactly like
much.
that.
So your
And-
games take 10 times longer than everybody else's. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I mean, when I played Spider-Man at first, I grabbed all the backpacks immediately.
Yep, and did all the towers and everything at once.
Yep.
It's exactly like that, but imagine the map is like 20 times larger.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Lord.
That sounds like work. That sounds like actual work.
Yeah, and I was about to say, because I'm assuming we all saw the article title of the game really picks up after 15 hours. And apparently from what Parker's
That's my
saying,
favorite title.
it
That's my
actually
favorite
picks
article
up.
title of this
My
year.
favorite thing is earlier this year, a parody site put up like, this RPG really gets going after 100 hours. And not like
Oh,
6 months
and
later.
then it's an actual
yeah,
like
not
an
6
actual
months later,
article
there's an
title.
actual article like
Oh
that.
my God, that's funny.
And then other games that have come out literally last night was Black Ops 4. I
Yep.
played a bit of that. No campaign. I'll say
Yeah.
there is a story.
Wait, so there's no campaign?
There's no campaign.
There's like a section where you can see like the different operator. It's basically the same operators with a few new ones as Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
They just don't have jump jets, which is nice. But
They've replaced it with Blackout.
yeah.
So
I don't-
Blackout
they've
is the
replaced it
battle
with
royale of.
I don't think I'll get it then, because I don't know about you guys. I'm not a multiplayer.
You
guy for
are
COD.
in the
I'm a single
severe
player.
minority.
Yeah, so
with the Call of Duty
Yeah,
games.
I really enjoy the Black Ops story. So not having campaign was kind of
It's
a detriment.
weird.
But
I
they have-
never touched any of the campaigns in the Call of Duties.
I'm surprised
never
that they're doing
touched
that
them.
after the backlash that Titanfall got for including a multiplayer game without a single player story.
See,
and
I think it's funny because they got backlash for that, but they made that game in like
they really quick.
3 years, like half a cycle basically, and it was super fun. It was only on Xbox, and it still sold decently well enough
Yeah.
for them to get a sequel that they could put on everything. And that game was so good.
I'm just surprised that Black Ops would be doing that.
Yeah, somehow they convinced. I mean, it's not EA. EA is the ones who are against
Right.
single
Right.
player now, but they managed to convince Activision. That
Well, I mean, it's
We'll do
hopping
that.
on the hype train with Fortnite and PUBG and all those to get a battle royale
and
mode
from
in.
what I've heard, I've only played one game, and I only found like 2 guns because I have no idea what the map is in Blackout. But I heard it's way better than all the other ones because Call of Duty actually has gunplay.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
so it
Yeah, no.
actually works. It's not like PUBG where you try and shoot someone and your gun just doesn't work
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's lagging
Now-
and trying to draw everything.
In like so one major problem that people have been noticing is the difference between the normal PlayStation and the PS4 Pro in regards to the resolution of certain things. Like if you're on the normal PlayStation, some of the things don't look quite as good as they could. But like that's kind of like you're kind of expecting that in regards to
Yeah.
the differences between consoles because there's a pretty decent jump.
Yeah, I
be-
mean,
between the two specs
the
wise.
original like console generation, like PS4 and such, they're getting kind of old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a while, so I'm
I
not
mean,
surprised.
I mean, rumors about the PlayStation 5 is
Mm-hmm.
going to be announced in, I think, Xbox's Scarlet is what the code name is.
Xbox 2,
Xbox One, too.
Xbox 720, Part 2.
Okay, but yeah, so I've been playing on PC, so I haven't noticed any of the graphics.
Fair
issues.
enough. Yeah, I was going to say.
Right.
If you're on PC, your settings. Are
And it's a
probably really good.
multiplayer game, so on PC, I'm not even playing with high settings because you want to be able to see your enemies. So literally playing on low settings because when it's too high, you're like, is that a person or is that a tree? So you play on low settings if you want to be competitive with like shadows turned on because those are the only actual helpful thing.
Right.
But frame rate's been fine. When I was downloading it, I had a fatal error problem, but that's because Battle.net was saying it was playable because most of their games have a feature where it's playable. And it was playable in the sense that I could start the game and look at a few menus and then it would just crash right out. Once it finished downloading, perfectly fine, has worked flawlessly. So I guess it's time to move on to our main topic.
To our main
Meat and
topic.
potatoes.
Meat,
All right.
meat and potatoes. All right, bring out the meat and potatoes, everybody.
It is time for favorite childhood game.
Favorite childhood games. Absolutely.
I'm
Which
a
is-
little hesitant to talk about this because I hold them so near and dear to my heart that any sort of criticism that guys might get.
I
about it.
mean,
To
we'll
be
see.
fair, I was looking up
We'll
some of
see.
the games to make sure I had the titles right, and I saw reviews, and I was like, that only got a 5.
yeah.
And I was also like 5.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
really
like,
easy
right.
to
This is
entertain
so
us.
much
This is
fun.
so great.
All right, so who wants to get started first?
Oh,
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, well, I'll start.
You go ahead.
I feel like one that we can all agree on, the Lego Star Wars games.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're the pinnacle of multiplayer games as a little kid, and it has our favorite franchise, Star Wars. I mean,
And say, and I only played a little bit, but from what I've played, it's wonderful. Like it's so
Yeah.
fun. I might go pick them up again.
I
Lego
have a
games
couple
are
years
just-
ago,
Do you?
actually.
I have it backwards compatible, like the complete saga. But I don't know, Lego games are just so much fun.
They're
They
perfect
understand
games-
what they're
yeah.
supposed to be, and they don't try and do anything outside of it.
Right.
'Cause-
They're perfect for like little kids and grown adults.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of things to do for little kids, like collect all of the studs and everything, and take away their attention. And then like adults, they can just skim through and have fun.
Yeah, like you can just go through the level and play, which is more or less what you're gonna do. Or if you're an adult, you're trying to find all the hidden secrets and yelling at your friend as they walk too far off the screen. Thankfully, in some of the newer ones, they've implemented where if
Like
they
a
go too
split
far away,
screen?
it's split
Yeah.
screens. But have any of you played the Lego Incredibles?
I
have
haven't, and
not-
I don't
not played the Lego
know if I want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn on that, but
Since they started adding the voice acting, it lost a lot of charm
Yeah.
to me, and I don't really
yeah,
want
it
to
was
play
like
anymore.
the campiness of the originals are kind of what made it. And it's like they also pull the voice acting like from directly
movie.
from the movies,
Yeah,
so it's super weird.
Sometimes there'll be like weird sound effects in the background that aren't actually happening. It's
right.
just-
Right.
Yeah, like it wasn't like they got just the vocal track. No, it's just they took the audio from the movie.
If you've played the Lord of the Rings Lego game, there's like a terrible quality in all the voices and
really?
everything. It's
I've not
absolutely
done
Lego
terrible.
Lord of the
I'm not
Rings,
done.
it's hilarious. It's one of the funniest things.
Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I am the biggest Zelda fanboy there is. Have you guys played that? Like, I could list every single one as like some of my favorite childhood games, but to me, Twilight Princess takes the cake.
I have not
See-
touched any of them. I haven't.
See, it's weird for me to,
Sorry, Parker.
to
I love
rank
you.
that as a childhood game because the first one I really got into because I I had an SNES, but I was too young
Right.
to like
Understand, yeah.
understand on that. And then the next Nintendo console I had was a Wii, so I got Twilight Princess.
Okay.
So that was like my first foray into the series.
Yeah.
And I didn't play Skyward Sword either, so I
did.
skipped that. Which, yeah, that's
I don't know
that's
how I
what
feel
I've
about
heard.
that.
And then Breath of the Wild, but I've gone back and played Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still struggling trying to do Majora's Mask because
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
kinda,
complicated. I believe I played Phantom Hourglass on like the DS.
I enjoyed that as a kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best.
Yeah, it was like
it was a
my
nice diversion.
Yeah,
I've heard they're cool games.
yeah. So it's hard for me to rate that as childhood for me.
Yeah.
It's weird. We didn't really set a definition for childhood.
Childhood, yeah,
'Cause
it's
we're
just
like, in our
We're pretty
20s.
different age groups.
Yeah. we're right around the 18 to 24.
Yeah,
Age,
so,
the 18 to 49 range for Michael. Yeah.
so like I could have been 7 and you could have been like 13.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
played the same. So it's like pretty different
Yeah,
experiences.
There's a big gap.
So childhood for me was a little.
Yeah, it's a
more
little
difficult.
different.
But it's like I also like I played more PC stuff and then moved to consoles and then
Right.
moved back to PC. But yeah.
I asked you guys this earlier, but I absolutely love it. Psychonauts.
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
seen
I've also
gameplay.
heard of it. I've
Haven't-
I've not touched Psychonauts.
I have yet to play a platformer.
I have not touched it. Ah!
I'm gonna ignore that.
Good.
I've yet to play a platformer that rivals it on this level.
Really?
Even as a kid, I was like, "This is amazing." I've gone back a couple years ago, played it. It's still just as good as I remembered it. And like, there's a lot of childhood games that are that I cannot say the same thing about. Probably one that you guys have played. At least I hope. Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Okay.
I have not played. No, I haven't. I haven't. Crucify Me Later,
PS2
I
game,
haven't.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And then like a party game as kids, like Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Of course. I'm not a heathen.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not
Didn't
a
have
heathen,
GameCube,
everybody.
But I have played it since.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you played it, all right.
Yeah, my Smash went from 64 on emulators to then Brawl, which honestly is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the Subspace Emissary mode. The fact that they managed to add a story mode into it.
It's
Like
so
it's so
cool.
ridiculous,
It's
but I
so
love it.
cool.
And it's fun and like it's enjoyable and it gave you something when you didn't have like friends over or people on.
Yeah.
You could just go and play and not have to fight computers.
Yeah, like in Melee, if you just want to play it by yourself, it's really lackluster game.
It's hard.
But when you're playing
It's
with
hard to
friends,
do.
that's where it shines. But like in Brawl, that's probably my favorite Smash Brothers because of the single player.
Absolutely.
All right, well that's pretty much most of my list. I want to hear from you guys and tell you guys why you're wrong.
All right. You want to go next, Michael?
Okay, well I'm gonna start with some old school games. When I say
Uh-oh.
old
Okay.
school, I mean
Uh-oh. like before we were
Before our
born.
time?
Yeah, before we were born.
I
old
mean
school
like
games?
98 old school.
Okay, I
games.
was 1.
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet.
Parker wasn't alive.
To be fair, I was like 4.
That's right. Yeah.
It came out in 98 and again in 2002, but it was the backyard football and backyard soccer.
Those are
I've
so-
played them,
Those
not
are
much,
so
but I've played
good.
them.
Those are so
I
good.
played those so much as a kid. Like, we had our computer room. We had like a shared computer and everything.
I-
Me and my
I
brother
remember
played
those
that
days.
so much.
I remember how big of a deal the backyard like sports games were to everybody in the cul-de-sac in my
Yeah, no,
neighborhood. It was
legit.
a
Everybody,
big deal.
everybody knew about him, which was crazy.
And I was talking earlier before we started. I looked back when I was looking them up, and I looked at reviews, and one of the ones I saw for that one was like 5.3.
Really?
And I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, I don't remember that, but I was also a kid, so everything was amazing.
Yeah, everything
But-
was great.
But I've still like played it in like the Game Boy Advance game. Played that one too. Like in my Nintendo DS, that was always slotted into the bottom. So both the football and the soccer ones, because as a kid I was really into soccer as well. So both those. I think I had the baseball one as well. I didn't play it as
I think I
much.
played the baseball one more.
Yeah.
I only played
Me too.
baseball games. I hate playing baseball.
Yeah.
It's boring. And next on my list, we have an honorable mention for our host who can't be here.
Yes, you're welcome,
Because
Angelo.
he said he would roll over in his grave if we didn't mention this, and that's the Sly Cooper games.
Yeah.
I've never
Which
played them.
I have also never played them.
I played it a little bit as a kid, but also I was a kid, so I was not very good at them, and
Yeah.
I mostly watched my brother play it.
So
Really,
I think
really solid games though. Like I've looked back and like they've done like remasters and stuff. Like really fun games.
I hear that the reviews from them, they're really
They're
good
good.
games.
Yeah, they're good
I
games.
just,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I haven't had the interest to go and play them.
Yeah, I'd have to go back. Hey, Angela, I know you own them. You could lend them to us.
Yeah, Angelo.
It's all your fault that we haven't played the game.
Yes, it's completely his fault.
Enough about the man that was too busy to be here,
Yeah.
right? What?
Okay, another game I have is for the Wii. Once again, another soccer game. I feel was really underrated, but I played so much, and that's Mario Strikers Charged.
Okay.
And
Okay, so I just want to add on to another Mario game, Mario Golf for the GameCube. Oh yeah.
Ooh, oh, that's some
all
fine
right.
games right there. Ooh,
Ooh,
man.
sorry for interrupting your list, but
Mario
I just
sports
wanna-
games are surprising.
They're like
They-
surprisingly
good.
great. Like,
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I played a lot of Mario Tennis. Yeah.
Yep.
Same. But I put this on here because it was just so under the radar, and I've wanted another game of it ever since. Because you're playing soccer as Mario characters, but like it's also cartoony, and like you can charge up and like score goals from all the way across the field.
This is
And
probably the most obscure Mario game for sports. Mario basketball on DS.
I did not.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Never
I just
heard
wanted to
I
put
did-
that out
I
there.
did
It's an
not
amazing
touch
game,
that.
and I
I
love
didn't
it.
touch
And
that.
all right, continue.
But yeah, just so much fun, like genuine fun. Me and my brother played it for hours on the Wii. Like it was one of the games that we always had in there besides Brawl. Like those were our two go-to games.
I don't know how Mario does it. It works
Make
on
it-
every single genre.
everything.
Make
Everything.
another Strikers for me, please, Nintendo.
Yes.
I will buy it 100 times if you make
Now
it.
I just want a Mario wrestling game. Mario wrestling.
If I like a game, I show my devotion. I will buy it multiple
times, yeah.
Like I have for Borderlands. That was something I forgot to mention during the news, but Borderlands 2 is actually getting a VR.
VR, yeah.
VR version.
That'll be
To which
insane.
my first thought was, great, now I'm going to buy it. Let's see, I have Borderlands 1, 2. I have the Handsome Collection. I own it on PC. I have one of them on PlayStation. So I'm going to buy it again and play it again for like the 25th time.
Now I've got to buy a VR headset.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my biggest concern.
right?
To be fair, I've wanted to get one, and this is more of an excuse.
Excuse
for me
me,
to get one.
But yeah, back to Mario. I would be happy with any Mario sports game.
Yeah.
It could be the most obscure sport in the world, and I would still love
Mario diving.
it. Yes.
Mario Cricket.
Mario Olympic Games.
That's
oh,
wait a minute. How did that happen?
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
That's right.
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. And they made like 3 of
That's
those.
a real game.
Yeah,
That's a
Games
real
has
game.
one of my favorite video moments ever, and it was from Game Grumps when they were playing with Rhett and Link, and they were doing like the 100-yard dash. And one of them was playing Metal Sonic, and Metal Sonic has like the highest sprint speed in the game.
Yeah.
So they start and they like don't know how to play, and then he finally realizes what button to press, and they're all even like going, and then you just see Metal Sonic go all the way to the end, and none of the other characters are even on screen. They're just like, what? What happened? And they did it again to see if it was a fluke, and the same exact thing happened. It's like, yeah, Mario sports games.
It's insane.
Really, really good. Yeah. And then my last one that I'll bring up is another Star Wars game, the coup de grace, as it would be, is Battlefront 2.
It's
the
so
original.
good.
Yeah.
It's the new crap
so
one.
Yes.
The original.
Yeah, the OG. Not okay. The new ones are pretty good, but not as good. Not nearly as good
As the original.
As the original.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 is the reason I bought the stupid little add-on so I could plug an Ethernet cable into
Yes.
my fat PlayStation
Yep.
2 so I could play it online, and I did that so much.
Well,
it was
no,
such a
but
fun
like
game.
even then, even if you played against the computer, they were competent. Like
They were,
actually
yes.
competent.
It
was
was actually a
difficult,
challenge.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I spent countless hours playing as like a clone trooper, and I was like, I could play as like a Jedi Knight, but it's
No.
still fun to play
Yeah.
as a clone trooper. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's like you get a hero, and it's like, it's super fun, but you also have all the different classes you can go into. It's Shock Trooper, and each class is fun.
They
Yes.
each bring their own unique thing to the table. It's like, oh wow, I
And
didn't
it
want to
was
stick to just
balanced,
one
too.
class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was actually balanced. Like, you could, yeah, you'll get hit with a rocket, but the rockets didn't have like huge blast radius, and they had to reload, and you could just mow someone down.
Yeah, right.
Plus, like the game has the best like player-made stories. Like it was since it was like an open map with like tons of like vehicles, kind of like Battlefront. You can like go from one ship, get in a like a spaceship, and then fly around, do whatever you wanted, and then
Space
land,
battles.
and then
Space
destroy
battles.
their cruiser ship, and then go back all victorious. It was absolutely amazing.
Space battles were so much fun. It
Did they
Arguably
even
the best
add them back into like the
I think-
original Battlefront?
I think they
The
did
new
in the
ones?
second.
I think
haven't played the second
maybe in
one.
the second
Yeah.
one, but I don't think it was the first one.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so much fun. Like the controls were tight and worked really well. I played on a different PlayStation controller from the main one because I didn't like the inline buttons on the back.
That's fair.
Right.
That's
And
fair.
I've never been able to find a PlayStation controller for like the PS2 Sense that had the triggers lower because that's my main gripe with PlayStation controllers.
There just hasn't been a Star Wars game up to that quality. I've played like around that era, Knights of the Old Republic, everything like that. And it's an amazing game. It just didn't feel as Star Warsy
No.
as Battlefront. I mean, absolutely
and like you had
the best Star
you
Wars
had the
game.
mission where you like capture things and progress through the map, and they redid it, but not as well.
Yeah, no, not
Yeah.
nearly.
And like
as well.
control points, and something that I don't understand how they could do it so well in the past and so poorly now is spawn points. Like, sure, you had the two bases that worked, and some games still, not many, but some still follow the you have a base, you
Yes.
spawn
Yeah.
there sort of mechanic. But you could also spawn at your point and other things. Whereas now the game chooses where you spawn, and as I've been noticing in Black Ops 4, you can be in your spawn, run forward, turn around, and then the entire team
Team is
just
behind
you.
behind
Yeah.
And then they kill you, and then you spawn behind them.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't
It's
work.
such a small thing, but it's such a major quality
It's
of
so
life
important that-
improvement.
yeah, it's
it
so
changes
important.
everything.
And the maps were huge.
They were. That-
It felt like when you were playing on the Death Star map, which I remember.
I love that one.
Besides online, this is the one good thing about games now is online patches.
Yes.
Because the Death Star map had the one area in, I believe it was the clone spawn, where you could go in the wall. And you could go in the wall. And I mean, guilty as charged, I did it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
As did
If
everyone
it's there,
else.
you're gonna do it,
Yeah,
like-
as did everyone else. And it's like, that's why people didn't play that map online.
Yeah.
But it's like, that map, I just remember it being so much fun. And it just felt like you were actually on the Death Star because it was so large.
That's why I loved the Mos Eisley map, because it felt like you were on Tatooine and you were actually there, and you could go into the bar, and it's just
It felt so
it-
right.
it
It
felt
felt right.
right.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah,
oh.
and nowadays the only game that's really on par with that is Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean-
they have large maps. And if I'm going to talk good Battlefields, I'm going to say 3 and 4.
yeah. Yeah, but the newest installment of Battlefront, I played the first one, not the second one, and it just
Didn't feel the
it
same.
didn't feel Star Warsy. It just felt,
Yeah, it was
and it didn't add to the flow as much as the previous ones. So
low.
All right, my turn. All right, so I'm going to start with my. I have to mention this every time I'm on because it makes Angela mad. But the very first Skate game in the Skate series, that was a wonderful game. It revolutionized skateboarding games after the Tony Hawk series kind of fell off and everything. Super fun. Did you guys play?
I've got your back with this one.
Thank-
Screw Angelo. Bring
thank
it
you,
up
Bart.
as much as
I'm
possible.
going to.
I've played
It's-
Skate 3.
Skate
so,
Skate 3 is
an
very good.
amazing game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
like, I had it, and then they announced it was backwards compatible. And so I didn't have the disc, so I'm like, it's $5. I'll buy it.
Yeah, right?
yeah, I think we all went through that because did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the backwards compatible. I was like,
All right.
let me turn my Xbox on.
All right.
Right. Yeah, no, it's just it's a wonderful game. It's a wonderful series. All three games are great, like absolutely great.
It was probably the only game that I played that has like novelty controls that work perfect.
Yeah.
With its genre and everything that you want to do.
Because it was such a big change from the Tony Hawk series.
Yeah.
Using the sticks as your feet, it's more realistic. You know, it makes you want to like make actual skate videos sometimes.
Yeah.
And they had, in 3 at least, they had a camera system involved. So you,
Well, they started to in Skate 2, and it wasn't nearly as good. But in Skate 3, you can actually make it to where it's just like an actual montage because I've tried and I want to do it.
Yeah.
So if you ever
Yeah.
follow any of my social medias and I post a Skate 3 montage,
and like they set it up just like people film skate videos back in the 2000s, where it's got like the super wide fisheye lens.
Yeah,
like
it's
all of the
so-
ground.
Right down to the ground as someone's
you
on
can
a
follow
skateboard
them. You can do
following.
like a long tripod shot.
Yeah.
There's so many different things you can do with it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was an open world game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
they all are.
Yeah, I love just like skating around, not even doing that many tricks,
Finding
just-
spots you've never
yeah,
seen before, you know, it's great.
trying to go as high up as possible on like the statues and trying to ride them down.
And then Hall of Meat.
Hall of Meat. Oh, my God.
I've never felt a satisfying bone crunch since Skate.
Can we get it as a soundbite?
The
Can we get
sound-
that as a soundbite? Him
sound-
saying satisfying bone crunch?
The sound effects in Hollow Meat were so good.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I remember every time I booted up the game, I'm like, all right, what's the best way to kill this guy?
It's like you get points for injury. My favorite thing is like as they're breaking their bones, you get the X-ray highlights. Like you land straight on your back, and like the spine's completely
It's just,
red.
like,
it's it's
snapped.
the person should be paralyzed, but you can make them still just like flop
Yeah.
around.
Do like the eagle
Do like
and
a
the
little, like,
cannonball.
Dead fish.
Yeah.
And then when you run out of momentum, your character's just there like bouncing on the ground.
It's so good.
It's so much fun.
Going to another skateboarding game that piqued my interest in skateboarding in general and then skateboarding games, Tony Hawk's Underground is my favorite Tony Hawk game and probably one of my favorite skateboarding games of all time. Have either of you played it?
Was that on?
Is this the one with the weird board
The weird board?
where you like stand on it and it's got like terrible controls?
No.
Was it on PlayStation 1?
I think so. Yeah, it was
Okay,
on
I was-
PS1,
I-
it was on GameCube, I think it was on PS2 as well.
I'm pretty
so-
sure I had Pro Skater 2.
Yeah, I
Pro
played
Skater
Pro
2,
Skater
yeah.
too.
See,
Because I
the
still remember the hangar level.
yeah, the hang level's fantastic. But the thing that set apart this from the other games was that it had actual story mode. And it wasn't just like your 2-minute runs trying to do all these objectives and everything. It had actual story-driven objectives where you had to, get sponsored by a skate shop, go to Tampa, become an amateur, become a pro, and all that. It had the progression, and it was super fun. Like I've played it again like a year ago, and it was still as good as I remember it. It was wonderful.
You talking about that just reminded me of a game that I'm mad I forgot about.
Ooh.
And that's SSX.
The snowboarding game, yeah,
Which is backwards compatible on Xbox
it's
One.
so good.
I've heard
And it
everybody
runs
talk
so-
about it, but I haven't
You need to
played
play it. It's wonderful. It's
And on
absolutely
Xbox
great.
One, it runs so much better.
Yeah.
Like,
Really? Because most
'Cause-
backwards compatible games, it
It's
doesn't run as
it's iffy. It's iffy.
because there's one specific section in one of the maps where playing on even PlayStation, or even on 360, like compared to PlayStation 2 and I believe it was on GameCube as well.
Yep.
Compared to that, like, it would frame rate slow down to like 10 frames.
Yeah,
going
big
through there.
jumps,
And
big
it
jumps.
holds a mostly consistent 60 frames now.
Yeah.
That is probably the most surprising thing I've
And
ever heard. all day.
they're like the graphic, like in-engine graphics have been upgraded and they do it and all. And it's super noticeable because you can see which ones are just flat images.
Yeah.
Because you see like this pixelated mess. like the splash screen looks so bad. But it's like the animated parts, like the press A, looks super clean next to everything else.
Yeah.
And then you load in and you're like, this looks so nice. And then you see a picture and you're like,
Oh. You just roll by.
I
oh.
remember when JPEGs were 14 kilobytes
Right.
too, man.
So my next game is the very first Saints Row, and Parker and I have this rivalry because he.
Oh, I'm on his side.
You're on his side?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel
rightfully
so
so,
betrayed.
thank
So these two heathens like 3 and 4 more than the first two, which is wrong. And if you agree with them, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be allowed to have opinions on video
Saints
games.
Row 1 is just a knockoff of GTA.
That's why I liked it. It was
Why would you like a knockoff?
It was an alternative. That's why. It was a better alternative for me at the time because I was like 10 or 11, which I shouldn't have been playing those games when I was that young. But it was a good alternative because it wasn't as dense as Grand Theft Auto. There were like there was a lot of things to do, but like you could still keep track of them. If that makes any sense. So like if I was like 10 playing like GTA 4, I would get lost in like all the things you could do. So
Get lost in all of the opportunities to curb stomp rival gangs.
yes, exactly.
As a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it was great. It was so good. Saints Row 1's my favorite. I think Saints Row 2 is the best one, in my opinion. I bet you guys disagree with that too.
I think Saints Row 3 is the best.
Saints Row 3 is
Mostly
the best
because
one?
like that's where like it became a different game.
That's where
That's fair.
That's where Volition found what they wanted to be. Because like
That makes
you
sense.
could feel the evolution in Saints Row 2, where they were moving more away from that. Like
Right.
they introduced like the characters and everything. It's like the gameplay was sort of sliding more towards one
And it
side.
had like more real like weird stuff like the sewage truck missions. I never
Yeah.
played 2, but I know that they were a thing and really weird.
Yes, they were.
And then 3, that was when they were like, we know what game we want to make.
They
now.
just embraced everything.
That's true,
And
yeah. It just got way too wacky for my taste. It got
Way too wacky.
Way
I
too
and
can,
way
I
too
can understand that.
inappropriate.
I was about to say, the other reason our opinions are going to be formed like this is you played Saints Row 1 first.
Yeah.
We played Saints Row
Or
3
3
first.
First.
Yeah,
so that's
there's-
why.
That's where
Yeah.
it comes from.
But yeah, so we'll get into that on a different episode. There might be a whole episode dedicated to us just arguing about
I'm
it.
going to turn to Parker for this. Thoughts on Saints Row 4?
Yes. Right?
I really want to like it, but it was just too samey as Saints Row 3. Like, I wish I had a different map, but I like the whole, like, oh, superpowers. But it really negated a lot of aspects of Saints Row, like, oh, pimping out your car and, like...
You don't need it because you can
no,
fly.
you don't. You can just literally run to the edge of the map.
Yeah, I felt like the car thing was sort of unnecessary there, but I really enjoyed Saints 4.
I had a lot of fun with it. It just, I had a lot more fun with Saints Row 3. I've played through Saints Row 3 at least, like, 5 times.
Yeah.
But Saints Row 4, I've only played it twice. So,
I own Saints Row 3 on 360 and PC.
exact same.
And then 4 I had on 360, 1, and I think I have it on PC
Dang.
as well.
I have it on 1, and then I got it on PC, mostly because it was a Steam summer sale, and it was like dirt cheap.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why
These
not?
might
Get
be
some
good.
mods. You know, why not?
Yeah. But I really like just the aspect of flying around. Like when the game first came out, I was so hyped for 4. Like I was watching all the Volition live streams for it and everything. And when it came out, I literally just sat in my dorm for like a solid 2 days, just doing everything.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, that makes
Getting
sense.
like all the achievements and everything.
So my final game that I'll be talking about is Bully.
They just announced.
They just yes.
Well, they didn't announce
They
it.
didn't
but
announce
they're
it. But
rumors.
They're rumors.
There was a call sheet.
A leaked call sheet for Bully 2 to be coming out as their next project for Rockstar, and I am so excited. You have no idea how
The
excited
question
I am.
is, are they going to make it a T game again, or are they going to just go all the way? And
That's
make
a
it
great question, and I don't know which would be better.
So-
Because I really liked it being T because you didn't know how far they were actually going to go with it.
And it wasn't going to be a T game originally.
Right.
People have found files, and one of the artists actually, like on his page for like assets he's done, had like old versions where you could tell it was going to be an M game because the art had them in like it was like their pajama version.
Yeah.
And it was really pushing what they could do with an M rating to
Right.
begin with, since
So-
it takes place
At
In
a
a
school,
school?
at a boarding school, a high school.
Yeah.
So-
So they were real. Rockstar's always been the ones to teeter the
To
line.
push it, but that probably would have been too far.
So for someone who's never played it, what's it like compared to
It's-
like the GTAs and stuff? Because I'm assuming it's going to be like
It's
it.
it's like GTA. It's what you would imagine GTA being if they were just high schoolers.
sort of like hijacking cars.
No.
No.
They're
You're
not
stealing bikes.
You're stealing bikes, stuff like that. You go to classes that you can skip, and you want to be a truant. You know,
Wow.
You can get caught skipping. Yeah, it's
caught skipping. You know, yeah. It's very fun. It's very kiddish, but like I really like it that way. It has a certain charm to it, and I just rebought it, and I'm playing it on PlayStation 4. I bought it today, and I've been replaying.
Was it remastered or just a?
It
backwards
wasn't necessarily remastered. Like the resolution was raised, so it's smoother. It's not really a remaster, but you can get it for $15 on PlayStation.
see, kind of forgot it was on play. I had it on, but like I played
Yeah.
it on Wii, so I kind of forgot.
You had it on
on
Wii?
Wii?
Oh my god! I feel bad.
yeah, I had a Wii
Because
for
I-
a long time before my brother got a 360.
I
and
pretty much
started
only
stealing
played
it.
Wii for priority games like Mario. and
Yeah.
Zelda. Yeah, never third-party stuff.
But yeah,
My console collection did not start until like this gen. I have everything, and last gen I had
Just like one.
a
yeah.
Wii U and a 360.
so but I'm
And
super
before that,
excited
a
for
Wii and a PlayStation 2.
super excited for Bully 2. Playing through Bully, the first one again, it's fantastic. Parker, that's the game I'm gonna recommend to you to play.
Out of all
It's-
of them,
it's
right?
it's
Okay.
to play Bully. It's $15 on the PlayStation Market. It's wonderful.
And speaking of Rockstar, we got Red Dead 2 stuff. When is the playtest for that? I believe
I don't
I
know.
believe it's in a few weeks because Angela mentioned something about I believe we're having a podcast on that, an 8-bit on that day.
I wouldn't be
I'm
surprised.
completely lost about it because I thought it was coming out next year, and then I was really surprised and excited to hear it comes out later on this month.
Yeah, I believe we will have an 8-bit that day, so I'm assuming most
They'll be
of
the
us.
quickest 8-bit ever. We'll
Yeah.
talk for like 5 minutes and then leave and go.
Yeah, and go play it, right? But yeah,
No, we will be dead tired. we will have, because I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm probably going to. Which I hate pre-ordering stuff, but
There's certain games you have to
there's
ignore
certain
that
games,
rule.
and there's also certain times, like for Black Ops 4, I technically pre-ordered it for the bonuses at 11:59.
I've done that before too. Yeah.
And I just like bought it on the Battle.net launcher, so it's just like I didn't.
Yeah, there's
It's
sometimes
like I
where,
bought it a minute before. It's not gonna be a problem.
there's sometimes where I buy the game like a day afterwards and I still get the pre-order bonus.
Yeah,
and
as
it's like so.
That's the thing. Like if you go get like a physical copy, when they get the games like GameStop, I'll just get a bunch of day ones.
Yeah, certain
Yeah.
numbers. So like I've done like a week later. I've gone and gotten a game and I was like, oh, I get the pre-order stuff too.
Yeah.
It's great.
If it's a big game, like they order way outside their pre-orders
Yeah.
because they know they'll sell them.
Right.
And then they'll wait like 2 weeks to get like the normal
Normal
version of it.
copies. Yeah.
But it's also a problem when you don't pre-order a game and then you go there and they're like, yeah, we only have that. Or my situation with Funko Pops where I go there and they're like, yeah, the Cobalt Mercy, yeah, that's only pre-orders. We don't have any that weren't non-pre-order. And I was like, what's the point of advertising it that it's at your store if it's not?
If it's
pre-order.
just
Yeah.
It's
pre-order,
just a pre-order.
that's stupid.
They're like, well, you can always pre-order. And I was like, but I don't want to because I understand how stupid that practice is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first, to my knowledge, people pre-order pop figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair,
It's a really big thing.
I've got a number myself, but I've never pre-ordered them.
Yes, I pre-ordered them.
Okay.
And Amazon screwed me over for the Shrike Anna for Overwatch. And also my friend Justin, we both got an email when it was supposed to come out that apparently they let too many people pre-order it. And I was like, no.
No, uphold your obligation.
I know I haven't paid for it yet, and I don't pay for it until it ships. But I've waited months for this.
Right.
And a day before, you're like, oh yeah, we can't fulfill your pre-order. It's like, I should, okay. I should have been told that way before. So now I have to eBay that. But I also just pre-ordered some from Blizzard because they have the, I forget what the second one is, the Witch Mercy.
Yeah.
Like they have the Halloween exclusives that they just put up the other day, so I just dropped $30 on that the other day.
Fair. Yeah.
All right. So overall, you said that you would like to recommend Bully,
Bully to everybody.
which is the one game that you would recommend.
If you have a Wii and you haven't played Striker's Charge, play it.
Okay.
It's so much fun.
Okay.
I would have to say Psychonauts.
Okay.
Still the best in its genre. In my
All
opinion.
right.
All right. Time to wrap up. You wanna wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay, not host, so this is weird for me.
We're lost without Angelo.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say Angelo help us, but I know once we mentioned Sly Cooper, he turned off.
Yeah,
the
he
stream.
turned off the podcast. He
He
wasn't
literally
watching
told
anymore.
us that he turned it off
Yeah.
as soon as he heard Sly
So-
Cooper. So this has been 8-Bit for this week. We'll be back in, I believe, 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks.
Which, if I'm on, I will be fanboying about going to BlizzCon because I'm going to BlizzCon in about a week and a half.
I won't
So-
lie and say I'm not jealous.
I won't lie and say I don't care.
You're jealous? You are not jealous of my wallet.
Okay.
Hotels are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
In case anyone wants to know. But yeah, so I'll be going to BlizzCon. We'll be, I believe, having our next 8-Bit in 2 weeks. So for this week, we had Logan Lewis,
Hi.
Parker Carlson,
Hello.
and I'm your guest host, Michael Smith. Angelo should be back hosting for the next episode. If you want more from The Real Deal, check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, actual
Everything.
web-
Wherever you
Yeah.
can find us.
Real Deal BSU on everything.
On everything.
On everything.
LinkedIn, maybe not. But
On everything. So if you want
We're
more,
also
check it
on
out.
Cardinal Career Link now.
we are for our Ball State people.
Yeah, for Vault State
Okay,
people, we're
okay.
on Cardinal Career Link, which I still have no idea what that is. To be perfectly frank, no idea what that is. That got instituted like a couple years ago. No idea
Fair
what
enough.
it is. But yeah,
right,
so that's been 8-Bit. So
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we will see you next time.